Welcome to the Dad Livin podcast. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement. Hosted by four best friends who are dads first and storytellers second. We dive into the real, messy, hilarious side of fatherhood. From diaper disasters to teenage drama, work-life balance to building a legacy, we keep it real, fun, and meaningful. Whether you're a rookie dad or a pro, this is your weekly reminder you're not alone. Grab a drink, kick back, and join the conversation.
All right, welcome everyone to Dad Livin.
Hey,
How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Yeah,
Yeah, buddy.
yeah,
We're here.
yeah.
Present.
We got three of us. Doyman's on a little trip right now, so it'll be us three today. You got Ostendorf and Johnson and Yoko here. So nice to talk to y'all
It's
again.
good to see you guys.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Have we seen each other since the holidays, or
No,
in person?
I mean, I had my birthday, which that was kind of during the holidays.
Yeah.
But I think that was it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
It's been a while.
Yeah, which is just insanity when you think about it. Stuff's been crazy. Right?
Yeah.
And hence the show today. We're going to be talking about some modern day dad burnout stuff. I think as we talk about it, and we talk about it all the time, where we're just, there's a lot going on. And I think for dads out there right now, you're listening to this, probably relating to a lot of the stuff. Where life gets crazy. There's a lot of stress and a lot of stuff that just compounds and pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and just coming off the holidays and the stress that brings. I mean, yeah, it's burnout is real. There's no doubt.
well, and that's something that I think it's more shocking when we sit here and, obviously we get to talk with each other just about some of the things that we're going through with work, with family, with sports, with just so many things piled up that as I was doing some research, a lot of these things hit home. I mean, just nearly half of fathers report feeling burned out, which all of us in this room got there. So we're 100% right now. And I'm sure if Deutt were here, he would say the same thing.
Yeah, honestly, as we were doing prep for this and some of the things you were mentioning, I wasn't even correlating with what burnout is. So the more you started talking things, I was like, man, I think I've been in a state of burnout for a while.
Right.
I think it's great to talk a little bit about some of those signs and symptoms and just knowing that you're in it and what you can do to hopefully get out of that burnout stage and get back to being your best for not only yourself, but your family.
Well, no doubt. I mean, at any stage or season of life, any father's going to go through that. Whether you're a brand new dad, for sure, you're going to have a burnout
Pretty quickly.
period.
Yeah. The first 6 months.
Yeah. And as for us, like with our kids are getting a little more independent, it's still like the pressure of providing through your work and then keeping up with everything with your family. It can be a lot sometimes. So
Yeah. Well, and as you kind of look deeper into it, some of the stats that I was pulling around that, survey of U.S. dads. So this is globally. I found this awesome article that really talked about this. And once again, like just what you said, as I'm reading through, I'm just relating to everything that this article is saying, and then really kind of getting down to, okay, what solutions can I put in place? But a survey of U.S. dads found stress, about 54% of total U.S. dads out there, fatigue, 49%, are common, with about 31% reporting kind of burnout symptoms. And when we talk about burnout, some of the big things, it's not just tiredness. It's not just coming home and we've talked about that, just saying, oh my God, I just need to sit down.
Yeah.
It's chronic stress.
Mhm.
And your body has this fight or flight mentality, and it's meant to use as kind of that cortisol hitting in situations where you need it. But I know with my body, it's a constant. I could feel it not every minute of every day. I have times where I can relax, but lately, especially over the past, I'm going to say 6 months to a year, taking on new roles, jumping into new situations, obviously kids doing new sports, me jumping into coaching. All of that stuff just adds up. And then, if you have little things that you're working through with your significant other, and that takes a lot of your kind of momentum and what I kind of consider like your battery.
Yeah.
I mean, once you hit E, that's hard to kind of get back. And that's where that stress comes into play because your body's just trying to fuel itself.
Well, I think you
So,
said it there, the chronic stress, and I've definitely experienced this, and it can get away from you so fast, and things can compound on each other to the point where you're just like you said, you're in that flight or fight mode constantly. And I think women definitely are more focused on this, and they talk about it more as just self care. And I think for a lot of dads, a lot of men, just, we put ourselves last sometimes. Family's always first. And we're, like I said, under the pressure to provide and be the best we can. And sometimes we let that self care fall on the wayside. And um, definitely something that I've become more conscious about. At the time we're dropping this, we're well into the new year at this point. Whether you made New Year's resolutions or not, that's, a lot of people don't make it a couple weeks past January before they give up on stuff already. So, I mean, for me personally this year, I've recognized like I've got a lot I want to do over the next few years, and there's some things that are slowing me down. And one of them's been alcohol. I'm drinking a NA beer right now just so I can feel like I'm joining the fun with you guys.
Love it.
No.
I've made it through January. I'm going to try to make it to my birthday. And I'm not saying I'm done with alcohol forever, but I'm trying to change my relationship with it, definitely socially. If we're going to a ball game, I still romanticize like having a beer at the ball game,
Oh yeah. It's just something about it.
or just having a drink with a nice meal or something. But, I think we use that to cope a lot of times, and we could tell ourselves we're using it to unwind and relax. And I've just noticed the past few years, like it actually adds anxiety to me. So that day after, when I was supposed to be relaxed, I wake up more anxious than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, for me, I carry that like down here, like,
oh yeah.
And since I've quit drinking the last 30 days, like that's just started to melt away. Like, and it's amazing just how quickly your body can change and adapt and flush it out. But, so, I mean, like I said, that's one way a lot of men cope, and, going forward, we're all turning 40 here. Like I've done that for half my life,
Yeah.
And, I'm just ready to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
That's good. No, congratulations.
That's man. That's
a
awesome.
long way.
Cheers
There's
to you,
no
man.
doubt. Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers it.
I'll drink to that.
Clean cheers.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like a long time ago, I set kind of boundaries around what I do during the week and weekends. And obviously the weekends, I'll kind of use it as, I don't know, more of a social play. But then if I feel myself starting to really kind of lean on it, I talked about it in a previous episode where we started having kids and I was catching myself, having 3 or 4 bourbons in a night and then getting 4 hours of sleep and waking up. Like that's not a good thing that you need to get into. So, it's kind of setting those boundaries with alcohol. Like I agree, is important. Or, I've heard a lot of people kind of switching over to obviously like some of the CBD stuff or, edible stuff, which obviously in this case, like you have to be careful with as well, just like with alcohol. But at the end of the day, like find your rhythm. My wife, I mean, once we had our second kid, she stopped drinking and I supported that.
That's great.
Because she was having the anxiety. She would have a couple drinks and then wake up feeling more anxious and stressed. And it was just like, hey, why, like, just cut it out. And she could still be social and have her NAs. She loves some of the NA stuff. And I'm like, hey, that's great. I set the boundaries and I feel good with it. And if I feel myself kind of abusing that internally, then I'll kind of take a step back. But I don't drink during the week unless, once again, we have a social thing, like we're going out to a game or anything. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm the same as it just relates to alcohol and New Year's resolution. So I've always been primarily like, don't drink during the week. It's when I work out. It's the work week. There's a lot of things going on with your kids. You don't need to add that extra piece that can just cause a muck, right?
Yeah.
So I've always tried to be very cognizant of that and making sure that I don't partake, but typically it's a weekend and social thing for sure as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, to your point, Brian, I mean, you see it like throughout the week. Like it's really funny when I come off a weekend and I go down and I do my first workout of the week. It's like, what happened? But by the end of the week, when you've done a full, 5 days of working out in a row, it's like, wow, that looks good. And you go into the weekend great. And just this kind of cyclical cycle, but it's all good. I think for us, or for me, resolutions, we were talking about it before we got on the show. Nothing really big this year. Working out's always been something that's, in my repertoire, but we did make a decision that we wanted to travel a little bit more this year. And I think that's a perfect way to help reduce the burnout, right? Getting away from your daily routines, going to a happy place. So we've got a few more trips planned this year. I kind of feel like,
Dude, that's awesome.
I feel like I'm jumping on Deutman's wagon here and trying to travel a little bit more. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, and that's something where I love that idea, and we're in the same boat, like actually like sitting down and planning some of these things and the importance of our show. I mean, I think with Deutman, I know Deutman has a lot of stress, but being a first responder, we've sat down and talked with him about everything that he's going through. But then when he's in front of us, he looks like he has everything together.
Yeah.
Which, kudos to Deutman. I think it's a lot of his travel habits. He gets to have a lot more of those breaks where he's just either with his family or with him and Heather. And
he does.
Yeah.
They do
Or with
a
us.
great
Yeah.
balance. Yeah.
Right?
Of trying to find those things. And that's what we're doing here coming up too. We've got the family vacations planned, but we're heading out here to Key West just with a few couples that we're really looking forward to. No kids. Obviously, there's some anxiety building as it relates to that, making sure everybody gets to where they need to be with school and practices and trading off between all the grandparents. But, there's only so much you can handle. And I keep telling myself, and same as Megan, it's like, the grandparents have done this before. They raised us. It'll be just fine. Right. Like we need to sit back and really just like enjoy this trip together. Not have all the added pressures of taking care of the kids, like really take a moment to just step back and unwind a little bit and, get away from this cold weather. So I'm very excited about that and hoping to decompress. I think, as we were talking about getting on here, work's been crazy, coming off the holidays. There's just all these things that are going on constantly. And I feel like you're just getting hit, from every direction. So it'll be really nice to kind of reset and recharge and make sure that we can come back and not only be the best for ourselves, but also for our family.
Man. We've talked about this a lot. Every year for the past several years since I've been self-employed, like I usually always take off between Christmas and New Year's and just everybody's home, just be with the family, be present. I've struggled in the past of letting go of work. And like, even if I'm not doing work, just constantly thinking about it. I really felt like this was the first year where like I totally unplugged and like, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not opening my laptop, nothing, and I just could be present. And it was great. I loved it. I feel like I pay for it when I come back after the new year.
Yeah, of course.
Always.
Of course.
But, unfortunately,
so maybe that stress I was putting off just compounds like right away, but
we saw it too. I mean, I saw you in a different light, like as far as like just not having that stress. And then we got to even play some football, which was great. We got the kiddos out. We got, Johnny had some chili and stuff, which was an awesome, I forgot even what day it was, but it was
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Oh, it was perfect.
Our first flag football, touch football game. It was awesome.
It was so much fun.
Lincoln loved it. Charlotte loved it.
Annual thing, man. That was my favorite day of winter break. Like having everybody over. My wife was freaking out on me. She like didn't know we were throwing a party.
It turned out awesome.
She loved it though. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you guys had so much fun."
Yeah, my kids were talking about it forever, and they want to do it again. So we've got to make that a new tradition for sure.
I mean, heck, Gus, we got a little football. One of his, I don't know. We were away at hockey. We were in Jefferson City at a hockey tournament, and he won tickets, and he was like, I want to get a football so I can practice for next year. So
awesome.
I mean, which is cool.
Very cool.
So because he wants to be in the mix too.
Well, a big reason I wanted to do it is like I've been struggling to get my son to just enjoy sports. Like it's always like we talked about this, like there's no backyard sandlot games hardly around anymore. It's all about going to practice and having the game.
Yeah.
And back in the fall, we were at a family event, and all the cousins were throwing a football around. He had so much fun. I'm like, dude, wouldn't this be great with like all of our friends? So he's like, yeah. It's like he was all about it,
Love it.
It was awesome, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Maybe we can do it twice a year, one in the summer and one to kick off the new year.
Let's do it.
It was fun.
I'm 100% down for it. I had a blast.
Yeah.
So
my ankles and hips were a little sore.
I'm not gonna lie, I was hurting the next day.
Goodness, I didn't realize how hard I was trying out there. Trying to show off in front of those young kids.
I know. I was definitely balling
man.
too hard.
Dude,
yeah, the knees don't. You're not used to making those cuts anymore.
No, I rolled my ankle good. So luckily nothing too bad, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
For me, it wasn't the next day. It was the day after for some reason. I woke up the next day. I'm like, I got this. And then literally I woke up the next day. I was like, oh my God, I can't move.
What happened?
Like, what the heck happened? I don't know. Delayed response.
No, but those types of things I think are, we're talking about kind of coping with stress and burnout. Like to me, that was a good recharge, being around everybody, seeing all of our kids interact, doing something outdoors, like all perfect things that, I think help you de-stress and just cut out for a minute.
I agree.
Well, I mean, part of stress and fatigue and burnout, I feel like we isolate ourselves sometimes and we hold it all in, and just, that's why I say, like, I don't know if I can ever give up alcohol. Like, just, I think it's better to socialize, get together with friends and have a couple drinks. Like, that does more for your whatever depression, anxiety, and endorphins just are released when we all get together and do that. So I think there are benefits to it, whether the alcohol counterbalances it. But
well, we were talking, I mean, even just coming here, I was saying, as we were getting ready for the show, every time I'm in this room, I'm laughing and smiling. Like it's awesome. This has been so therapeutic for me, and just being able to, step away and let us focus on something productive, but also being together and getting to talk about stuff like this.
I agree. Well, and if you're out there and you're kind of wondering, hey, do I have this or do I not? I did put together some signs you're more than just tired. Because I think, we all get to a point, you could have a good rhythm and, you could just be tired. Like, you could just be like, all right, I'm having a tough week and working through a lot. And that's fine too.
Although I feel like as being a dad, I don't know the time I was never not tired. So I don't remember that time anymore, but
that's true. Yeah. And I think there's, obviously little things like that as you're working with your significant other to work through, like something that Kelly and I do. We switch off on sleeping in on the weekends. So even when we had younger kids or babies, that helped us just kind of recharge a little bit. And I know, once again, me saying that sleeping in one day out of the week, you're not going to catch up on the sleep or the loss. But for us, getting to that like 8:00 or 8:30 time frame where we just kind of woke up while the other one was hanging out playing, that person had some one-on-one time and the other person got to recharge, and it did help a lot for us. And we just kind of got into this rhythm where we just communicated. So but if you're sitting out there and you're listening to this and saying, okay, well, what the hell is burnout? Like, what are you talking about when you're talking about burnout? Some of the things I put together, like no joy in even fun days. I think in a lot of cases you get to that point where, like, I remember a time where we won something to go see like a police dog and everything, and I got a call that I had to fire an employee, and on top of that, I was already thinking about these things on my day off, and I was supposed to be off, but I couldn't because then I had to talk with HR and I had to do all these things. So then it just mounted. I could feel this mountain coming over, and it was such a fun day, but I wasn't there. I wasn't present. So that's obviously some of the burnout that comes into play. Getting angry at all the little things. I think we've all caught ourselves with that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm checking the boxes right now. Right? You're going through this. Yeah.
I think that's when I notice the most, when I just feel irritable about everything. I know I'm in that burnout mode and I got to do something to adjust.
I think, I agreed. You got to do something. I'm fortunate. I know Megan she realizes those things, and she'll be like, oh, take a minute. Like, she'll call me out on it. At the time, I can be a complete dick and, be upset because she's doing that. But I've let things process, and you take a minute and you're like, okay, I did need that because I was snapping at all kinds of stuff. And it's not good for anybody in the house. Right. So I appreciate her when she does that, even though sometimes my reaction isn't the best, but
And
these are all spot on.
I think one thing that we're going to talk about here in a second is just how do you get around these things. And I think in a lot of cases, when you catch yourself snapping, just communicating and saying, hey, I'm going through this right now. leaning on other people. That is one of the biggest things I learned last year that I didn't do previously. And I wouldn't talk to my wife for like a week. I know that like not, but we would have short little outbursts because I would be stressed about something I wouldn't communicate. And she didn't know. She can't read my mind about the 10 things going on. But we found, especially recently, like just sitting down and talking about it. Like there could be a little thing that, it make a mountain out of a molehill. It definitely happens, but that can happen internally. So just communicating about those things before they get into that mountain.
Yeah.
So
sometimes that's hard to do. I know, just like working all day, you come home from work, you walk through that door, you're on right away with your kids and family. You go through all your routines, you get the homework done, you do bath time, you do all the stuff. And by the time you go to bed, sometimes it's just like, I don't want to talk. And then, you find yourself doing things that aren't beneficial either, whether it's having a drink or, I think you were going to hit on it, scrolling on your phone.
Next thing.
Like, it's just that's not helpful either. And you're filling time with things that aren't benefiting you. And what I learned, and I'll let you get into, is actually hurting you even more from a cortisol perspective.
I just had that the other day. I had a really bad day. And we're sitting down for dinner and my wife's like, "How was your day?" I'm like, I really don't want to talk about it. And like, sometimes you do need to let it out, but other times I'm like, look, I need to I just want to focus on family time the next couple hours and forget about all
I got to shut that down. Yeah. I get that. Been there.
Yeah. Well, and that's perfectly okay. Obviously, like craving isolation is one of my key points here, that if you're constantly craving that isolation, you probably should talk with someone. Like, I've been there and it's like, hey, I just need a minute. If you constantly feel yourself taking that path versus talking to someone, that's the point. Like, hey, you honestly probably need to sit down and talk with someone.
Yeah. So, something's going on.
And you hit on it, choosing screens or alcohol over kind of, I consider like playtime is one of my biggest things. Your family's in the living room and you just tell your kids, hey, just go on your tablets. Like, I need 10 minutes, and then you pop open your phone. Like, we had a realization and we were very honest with each other over the holidays where we leaned a lot on our screens.
Yeah.
It was stressful for me because I'm trying to hit a particular number. Kel with just having to deal with a lot of the kids because I'm busy with work, and I didn't realize that. And we're both on our screens, and it's just like, wow, there was times where you had to kind of catch yourself. So
it's funny, like how quickly we try to distract ourselves sometimes, and you catch yourself and you're like, I just spent an hour on my phone. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, and I've done the exact same thing. And usually what happens is as I'm mindlessly scrolling, something comes up about being present with your family and all that. And I'm like, oh man, what am I doing?
I'm doing it.
Shut it down. Yeah. Like, and so I get gut check there, but then there's the whole anxiety of like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Am I spending enough time? Did we make the most of the day? Like, dad guilt. I think that's a real thing too. Always questioning if you're doing what you can every single day, and just putting that added pressure on yourself too.
Yeah.
I find myself doing that a lot lately as well. Like, did I spend enough? Did we have enough fun today? Did we do this? Did we do that? And then you add that with work and everything, and your anxiety levels build really fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's so true. And my final bit here is just sleep that doesn't refresh you. I find this so often, like even if you put away the alcohol, if you go to bed at 9:30 and you come back down to it and you get like 8 hours, but it's like, crap, man, I'm still tired. I had that Monday this week and I literally stopped myself. I'm like, all right, you're stressed. You're not getting, you being stressed in this situation is not going to help. Let's take a step back and figure out a good path forward. Like I almost had to kind of stop myself during it because I think it was like 8.5 hours. I have a track, app that tracks your sleep.
Yeah.
8.5 hours. And my quality was 50%. Wow. So that means I was moving around.
Yeah. I wasn't
sleeping right.
Yeah.
So catch yourself with those things. And I think the biggest thing with this to kind of tie it all together and kind of what we're going to segue into next is what I encourage you to do out there is to essentially like name it to tame it. All right. Call it out. Don't deny it. Don't put it on the back burner saying, I'll get to it sometime. Right now, name it. Like, call it what it is. At the end of the day, it's burnout. All right. For those out there that have an incredible job that you're listening to this saying, I don't have any of that. Great. Like, you probably eventually will at some point.
Like I said, at any point you will experience this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And look at the joys. Obviously, like, I didn't have a whole lot of burnout when we had babies. Some people do, some people don't. We had good sleepers. We had a good system. Rarely did we get to the point where we were like really burnt out. Mine's been the later stages as things start adding up. And you have to prioritize things. Like right now, I'll have a full day of work that I'll put in 9 or 10 or even sometimes 11 hours. I'll wake up at 3:30 in the morning and start to work. That's not a good thing. And you got to catch yourself. And then you have kids stuff and you have all that. Like realistically, I'm catching that and saying, okay, I can't keep on doing this. I'm having a conversation with my boss. I'm having a conversation with Kelly. I'm having a conversation with my kids, and I'm talking about it to help it.
It's good.
So,
something I need to do better of.
I mean, this is all hitting home, and we touched on resolutions. I didn't set some big lofty resolutions this year. I just kind of had a word of the year or a theme of the year I wanted to create, which was discipline. I just want to create more discipline in all aspects of my life so I can start to buy back the energy that I've been robbing of myself.
I love that.
And whether that's mindlessly scrolling on your phone or just vegging out on crappy food to get a dopamine fix. As we're getting older here, like the more we build up chronic stress, that's going to steal our testosterone, which is going to drain our energy. So I'm just trying to do everything I can, whether it's through work or personal life, to build discipline back in. And I mean, you can be hitting the gym, you can be eating good food, but if you're not managing your stress, that's still going to rob you.
Agree.
So whether it's just one thing I've tried to create is like just try to find like 10 minutes a day for myself, where like whether I'm just going to be alone with my thoughts and journal or go for a walk or do something.
Love it.
Where it's not like I'm always on all the time, and just create those little habits where it's like, okay, well, like gym's non-negotiable. I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, like no matter what. The less I drank, the better I feel. The better I'm going to eat, and get more energy that way. So
it all compounds on itself. There's no doubt. Those little habits.
Stack up those little habits and start doing away with the bad ones, and get that energy back.
Yeah. Well, and that's spot on. That's exactly what I had as far as one of my goals is to set like tiny boundaries. All right. I put like 10 minutes. I put a fixed 20 minutes of real downtime where it's just, I set down the phone. I set down everything. Obviously that's a small amount, build up from there, but 20 minutes where you just disconnect and you hop over to the family, you talk to your significant other, you just look each other in the eye. And not have that, you realize, you catch yourself how much of a gravitation that your phones and everything have with you.
Yeah.
And that when you start to break away and have real conversations, or just, I don't know, do something, find a hobby, do something different, whatever it may be. Oh my God, it's just so nice. So that was one of the things I had.
I think that's one thing that we really lose touch of as we get older, and like just letting go of hobbies and like stuff that we loved to do back in the day, and like for myself, a lot of older guys like gravitate towards golf, and like I get it. Like you got to have something to like go out and like, all right, I know for like these couple hours I'm out here, like nothing else matters.
Right.
And I can work on getting better at this game, or just focus on having fun and blocking out everything else. And you got to have something.
Yeah. Something. Another thing is we're kind of talking about how do we get out of this burnout loop, that we can call it, delegate tasks. Like even to kids, like it builds teamwork, stress. It eliminates stress off you. And like we started, we have, God, what's the calendar program
dude, I was just going to bring this up, the Skylight.
Skylight.
We got one, and chores. Like the kids love checking stuff off. Like
It's amazing.
we started rewarding it with money. Like, okay, allowance, do your chores. And they're asking for things to do. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like just this weekend didn't have to vacuum anything upstairs because they all took care of it. And I was like, wow, this is game changing. Like it's really, I agree. You got to be able to delegate. And I've been bad at that at work. It's something that I definitely have learned, at least over the last year and a half, is as you do more, especially at work, it's okay to delegate things. I was one who always liked to do it myself, the sense of accomplishment. It's like at one point you just can't. And that's why you've got a team and you've got to lean on your team.
Just like your fam.
Just like your family. Yep. Your family is your team. Yeah.
Well, and think about your significant others, your kids. Like they need stuff off their plate too. Don't always think about yourself in this case. Like think about what they're going through. And I think as you have those real conversations, just understanding that what they're putting in and what you can help them out with, and vice versa. I mean, it's a team game, and we're all working together. Yeah. But it all starts with one of our biggest things on the show, communication.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I mean, we learned that just going through last year and having all of these podcast episodes. We didn't realize how much stress that it was putting on you guys and the work that you were doing behind the scenes in order to make this happen. And as part of coming into this year, we sat down, we talked, and now we're working on scoping out roles and doing things better. So, I mean, again, like you said, communication, but it applies to everything we do. Yeah. And you've got to be able to say what's going on. And we were able to communicate that. And I fully anticipate this year should be a much hopefully easier lift for everybody, but we had to have that dialogue too.
That was a important conversation for me because I caught myself. I said to you guys, like, if we can all find a role we're good at and focus on, this could be we can make this thing really great. Then I caught myself. I'm like, why don't I apply that to my own work? Because what I do, I mean, I have a partnership in my real estate business, but we have to wear a lot of different hats and I have to take on all these different roles in the business. And a lot of times I feel like I'm not doing any of them to my full capability because I got to spread myself so thin. So I'm like, well, I've got to find a way where I can delegate. And, the fear is always like, well, I'm not going to be able to afford to pay somebody to do that. But it's really costing the business by not allowing me to go out and do what I'm best at,
Yeah. Focus on your strengths.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
right.
It's a work in progress. So.
Yeah.
That's good.
And that's good. That's good. I think kind of going with the communication piece, one of the things I encourage everyone is to talk to your partners about stress. I know, and more importantly, without judgment. All right.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, and we just had this a couple weeks ago where I knew something was off with Kel and we weren't communicating as well as we should have. And we sat down after we got the kids down, and don't be defensive when you have those conversations. Don't try to think you could fix it right then and there. Just talk about it. I think in a lot of cases, for those of you out there, just don't jump to judgments or anything like that. Just listen.
Yeah.
And actively listen in that point. Put down your phone. Don't do anything else. Just look them in the eye and talk with them. And I feel like that reset us so much to a point where now I feel like our relationship is stronger than ever. And I know you kind of have those wave and flows. You're going to go through it. But doing that is probably one of the most important pieces that you can do. And if your significant other is, if you guys are separated and you guys are co-parenting in that case, still do it, because you guys have to be happy and healthy with these kids. And you have to set the kind of parenting standards with them. And that's tough when you have a lot of stuff going on. So sit down, like ask your significant other, your co-parenting, your partner, whoever, about their day and really talk through these things. So
yeah, you got to be willing to put ego aside and listen to the people that are closest to you. You know?
Exactly. I've found sometimes too, when you just talk about those things, whatever you thought was really big in your head, just talking about it, you're like, really, I'm making something out of nothing. I think you said it earlier, right?
Yeah.
Anthill into a mountain. That happens a lot. Like you put that out there and you're like, wait, why am I stressing out about that? Like, was it really that? It's not really that big of a deal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I agree.
Or, you got to let it go. Or, Megan does a good job. And I think about this too, is like, if something's stressing you out, what can you do about it? And if you can't do anything about it, then why are you stressing out about it? Like there's certain things out there that you get concerned about, and sometimes it's not in your control. So you got to let those things go.
Yep. I agree.
Control what you can control.
Yeah.
Exactly. Two more things. Prioritize rest. We've already talked about that. Not just sleep, actual like recovery, rest. Don't push yourself to the point of exhaustion each and every day. Find little areas and avenues. Like lately we've been, we always try to prioritize, obviously, like eating healthy and eating good, and even in a lot of cases like cooking at home, which is good. But we've also found like some easy, healthy meals outside of it. Like Sam's has this chicken taco kit it's healthy for you. It's really good. And it's cheaper than what we can cook a meal for. It's like $10.
Amazing. Wow.
And we found like little things like that. The other day we had, we had a sick cat we had to take care of. We had kids hockey. We had all of this stuff, and we had a meal planned. And we've been planning and working through that, but we decided, hey, let's go this route. It's easier on us. We can then have more time with the fam and work through it. And we were able to have that and then hang out with the kiddos a little bit. And that really kind of recharged my battery.
Nice.
On a stressful day, which was good.
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest things here that I put down, connect with other parents. Isolation makes burnout worse. And I think we're a case study for that. I mean, look at us. We're talking about these things. Reach out and talk with other parents. I know, Johnny, you talked about the social aspect of it, but really reaching out, talking through these things, find some friends, find some like-minded people and talk about it.
Yeah.
It really puts it in perspective.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think a lot of times it's hard to break through like just the surface level conversation, but like, this is the shit that matters, man.
Right. I agree.
But
I agree.
We're lucky. We've got close friends. We've known each other for a long time. It's not hard to talk about
Reach
stuff,
out.
but
reach out.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the biggest thing, and Johnny, I'm going to use you because I'm super proud of you because you, I think, embody this a lot of cases. It's not a sprint. It's about making little things and doing it. And you were really good at setting goals. I a lot of times look at him like, well, Johnny's doing this, and he does such a good job at like setting those goals and achieving them, and then working forward. Like, make those little milestones. Like, think of, I always kind of equate it to, if you set the big lofty goals, like you just said, you're not, it's going to be so unattainable. You're going to be more stressed going into it. But if you set those little goals that get you that milestone, I mean, that's what it's all about. Well,
I've learned in the past setting like some New Year's, I'd sit down and make 50 things I wanted to do for that year. And it was just like, okay, I burned out and it was way too much. And I overwhelmed myself.
Burnt out just making that list.
Right. So that's why like, I just wanted to have a theme this year. Like, okay, like, all right, I'll say it right. One thing, it's not for vanity, but I want to see my abs this summer. It's been a long time and I just want to prove myself I can do it in my 40s. Okay. And my son kind of motivated me. He was poking me. He's like, you're getting soft down there. Eating too much pizza.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I'm like, okay, I've got 5-6 months till pool season. I'm not going to go start doing 5,000 crunches tomorrow and think it's going to be overnight. But like, okay, step 1's clean up the diet. Step 2's get out, walk more. Step 3, up the cardio. Like, there's layers to this. So like, I try to look at like, all right, if I do have a goal, what can I get done the next 90 days to make it happen? And try to set little micro things to get there,
Love it. Love it. Well, and that's why you're really successful with that. Like, you should reflect back and be pretty proud of what you've done. Cause I know being in the moment can be tough, but
yeah,
I mean, I see it. I know we've talked about it before. I mean, that's awesome.
So it's hard. Yeah. You got to keep perspective and not lose sight. Cause when you're in the thick of things, if shit's not going well, going your way, and it's hard to forget sometimes. So
yeah, I agree. So if you're out there, definitely drop us a comment. Let's talk about these things. Even if you want to reach out, we have a hotline on our website that you can reach out, leave us a voicemail at any time.
What's the website?
www.dadlivin.com. Good stuff. Yeah.
Check it out.
go check it out. Visit us, drop us a line, fill out a contact form. Heck, even leave a comment on some of our posts as we're sending these stuff out, because I think it's important to talk about it. We want to build this community of dads, and I think that's one of our goals this year, is to really just have the community of dads talking about these things and working through. And we want to be the eyes and the ears for you too. Like we want you to lean on us. So follow us on obviously TikTok and YouTube, Instagram, all at Dad Livin. And like I said,
look forward for a few months and putting Johnny's abs out there for everybody to see.
Make me do the reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we want to see it.
All right. I got some progress photos going. So
Nice.
we'll see.
Good.
Love it. Love it. Like always, we just appreciate you listening to us and obviously giving us the opportunity to talk about these things. And yeah. So
yeah, good
Perfect.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Great. Love it.
Awesome. We'll see you next time, everyone.
Yep. Take
See
care.
ya.
Later.
Bye.